Are you a fan of Star Wars, Marvel, Jurassic Park, The Office, or Disney and Pixar movies? Or do you just want a sleek, comfortable patterned shirt? Then you need to check out Roosevelts.com. Roosevelt's clothing is the most eye-catching and comfortable clothing available on the market. From button-ups to hoodies, hats, and more, Roosevelt's truly has something for everyone. Check them out today at Roosevelts.com. That is RSVLTS.com. And when you do, make sure to use promo code SWOGGLE to save 20% off your order. Made for those with a love of sports, pop culture, and all of the above, this is clothing for the bold and fun for those who dare mighty things. So that's promo code SWOGGLE to save 20% off new, clearance, and restocks at Roosevelts.com. Once again, the boys are back in town. Another episode of Going Postl. That's George. I'm Dylan. That's my ride-along buddy, virtually, for now, because physically it hasn't happened yet.
One day.
One day. One day, Sunday. One day. Bloody. I was trying to do a U2 reference there. Didn't work.
Are you going for a one day, bloody one day?
I was trying to. You know, hey, before we get too far, I know this is where you usually go into the plugs.
This is a 40 seconds.
I saw the U2 footage from the Sphere in Vegas. I have never been more amazed by like concert footage as I was that.
It's pretty insane.
How are these things happening?
It's
not the future yet. We're not in the future.
I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind is that
we're not in the future.
We're in the future.
But we're not. We're not really in the future. We're like, I mean, the future is still like, I would say the future is like 2300.
We're making massive technological leaps to increase the immersion and experience of almost every aspect of public shows now, where it used to just be like you expect those things at like theme parks or when you go to like when IMAX was first the thing. Like, now it's just, hey, guess what? You're at a concert and this insane thing is happening at a concert now.
What's the how many people were in that concert? Do you know?
I don't know offhand. I could do a quick Google.
Also, I got another side topic right after this. That's gonna blow your mind. And I know we're very, very much off topic, guys. We're talking all things Ultimate Warrior today.
More than 18,000.
That's it. It seemed like there was, I would have said 40,000 people in there. It looked like the crowd never ended.
And this is coming from someone who, headlined 6 WrestleManias.
With more than 40,000 apiece. Can we talk about something else?
Well, okay. First things first. Let's get this out of the way. This podcast is brought to you by our good friends over at the Roosevelts brand. Make sure to go and check them out. RSVLTS.com and use code SWOGGLE to save yourself 20% on your order today. Now, go ahead, do your thing here. What do you? Real quick, I'm going to throw this in here now before Dylan goes on another tangent. At Going Postl Pod on all forms of social media, at Dylan Postl on all forms of social media, YouTube.com/Dylan Postl is where you can get the free video version. And for absolutely everything else, you can go to DylanPostl.com. On there, you have Dylan's Twitch channel, a link to this podcast on all platforms, the link to SwoggleAuction.com, where if you use that link, you can get yourself a free $10 credit on Whatnot, and of course, both of Dylan's store, both his Pro Wrestling Tees store and his DylanPostl.com big cartel store, and I know that because I brought up Whatnot. Dylan, what's happening in the world of Whatnot?
So I asked George. I said, "Hey, George, I have some fun stuff to promote on Whatnot. For it's my next stream is October 25th. I keep saying 9/25, and that's not the right month. 10/25.
I just don't know why you thought that you wouldn't be able to plug
I don't
your
know.
Whatnot stream on your
Because I still don't know how this
podcast.
works, George.
But it's your podcast. If you
No,
if you came on and said, I want to talk about the letter D for the entire episode, that's what we would do. It's literally your podcast. I am here to guide the ship, and I do a
there's times
job at that.
I'm putting the sail the completely wrong way.
Is it the sail, or are you dropping anchor? I don't. I think sometimes we drop anchor, and you're like,
yes.
This is what we're talking about for 20 minutes now.
Guys, in 2 weeks, as you're hearing this, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the 25th of this month, Landon actually asked me, "Hey, Dad, when is the 20th anniversary of your first match?" And I was like, I had to look at like archives, and it is October 25th, 2003. And I was like, okay. So he's like, let's do a Whatnot. And I go, why? That's not, I said, that would be a weekend. He goes, no, it's a Wednesday. And I go, holy shit.
Oh.
So the 20th anniversary of me being in wrestling falls on a Wednesday. We're going to do a Whatnot stream. I have, for the first time ever, these sweet cards.
Ooh, look at those.
Which, I don't know.
Nice little quadruple auto on that?
Quad auto in different colors. Short stack, Little Bastard, Hornswoggle, and Swoggle. Only 100 of them available. And then, because it's...
Who designed those cards?
Carouse!
Thank you.
Because it's the Halloween season, people love when we do these stupid masks on Whatnot. So this is going to sound great on audio. I have an Andre the Giant mask. And also a Crow Sting mask that are just absolutely frightening. And there's another mask on the way. There's another mask on the way, but also...
What's the third one?
I cannot reveal until that night. That's going to be the big reveal. It's going to be that day. But also, on the 25th, head over to, again, before the 25th, head over to Whatnot right now. Bookmark the show. The show is already made. Bookmark the show. I'm giving away a free Danhausen ringside exclusive, the funny packaging and all that. That's going to be given away for absolutely free. I think we're going to end up running 3 giveaways that night. So it's going to be a huge stream. Landon's going to be way up past his bedtime. We're going to have some fun. That's all I got. SwoggleAuction.com. If you haven't signed up yet, get yourself $10 free. Come join us. Guys, let's talk about Mad Cat Beard Care. They make my beard feel soft, silky smooth, and they can do the same for yours. A one-man show since 2019, Mad Cat uses a portion of their sales to care for local stray cats. That money covers their medical bills and finds them safe spaces and forever homes. Their products are made to order with vitamins and all-natural oils that promote strong, healthy hair and moisturize your skin as well. They've got exclusive scents for myself, as well as other wrestlers like my good pal Brian Myers, Mr. Kennedy, and Ring of Honor legend Delirious. Make sure to check out all of their scents, along with my Swoggled scent, which has notes of lavender and sage. I absolutely love this scent. And guys, we've got an exclusive offer for listeners of Going Postl. Use promo code SWOGGLED to save yourself 15% on your orders only at madcatbeardcare.com. That is Swoggled with a D on the end to save yourself 15% on your orders at madcatbeardcare.com. Guys, that's 15% with promo code SWOGGLed. And remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard.
So we're going to kick it off with an easy question here, just to get the ball rolling. What was your first exposure or your earliest memory of the Ultimate Warrior, and what of that do you remember?
I talk about it a lot in the book and just kind of in every interview I do, where it's the first wrestling memory I ever have is WrestleMania 6, which is Warrior and Hogan. And watching that at my grandparents' house, this house, and just like falling in love instantly, especially falling in love instantly with the Ultimate Warrior. He was my guy. Like, man, Hogan was too white meat babyface for me. He was just a guy in underwear. Ultimate Warrior was a guy with sick face paint, tassels, incredible music, jacked, and just shook the rope
Also in underwear.
in underwear, but they're at least they're neon underwear. But
It's true.
It's one of those things where instantly that was my guy. But that's the first memory for sure was WrestleMania 6. And there's like
Cool.
there's not a bigger first memory. Like there's not a
Oh, no way.
possible first memory than that night running to the ring when everyone else took the golf carts and he ran to the ring. It was just incredible.
I get tired watching that.
And they made him do it in rehearsal 3 or 4 times.
Just to make sure that he wouldn't be like blown up afterwards. But like,
no, just
man,
Vince messing with him. Guaranteed.
Oh, I was gonna say like, hey, let's make sure you can do this and not be ruined afterwards.
Hell no, it's all Vince messing with him, 100%.
That oh man, that's crazy.
I had to run to the ring, for bragging rights when I did the flag thing. They just to mess with me. They made me rehearse that 3-4 times, at least 3 or 4 times.
Did you have to do the? No, because you were
for Team Johnny and Team Teddy. I had to come down with the flag too.
I was going to ask if they made you do anything with the obstacle course when you did NXT.
I didn't do the obstacle course, no.
Yeah, so but they had you in the wheelbarrow.
Yep. Which we rehearsed that just so they could tip me out of it, of course.
Those are 2 topics for another day. It's on the list. I considered it for today, but we're going to talk about bragging rights. We're going to talk about NXT on another day. Okay, so going through all of Warriors run in WWF.
Yeah.
What sticks out for you aside from that first big memory?
Yeah.
Like, what are those big moments for you?
So one of the other like big moments that I still like am like scared to this day is with the funeral parlor with Ultimate Warrior when Taker puts him in the casket. And it was like, man, I was already scared of Undertaker because guess what? Everything he did was in the dark. And then it was like, then he attacked Ultimate Warrior. And it was, man, it scared me so much. That was one of the biggest things. I have like this weird remembrance of his gear more than anything. Of like the black with the pink, blue, and yellow Warrior symbols on it. Then the knee pads with Macho and Warrior on them. The Mega Maniacs gear that never happened, but there's still photos out there. Like I remember there being a photo in one of the magazines of that, and I was like, this didn't happen. Like, where is this from? And then the weird bodysuit at SummerSlam, like, just things like this, like the muscle bodysuit. Remember that? It reminded me of that. What was that PBS show with the guy it was like a naked dude. You know what I'm talking about at all?
Those are very conflicting things. The naked guy in the suit on PBS.
Yeah, because it was like a show about the human body, and he was wearing like I want to say he was wearing a bodysuit.
It does sound familiar where he's wearing like the muscles and stuff, and like you could see, and he would be like, and this is
Listeners, drop it in the comments. You have to know what I'm talking about. It was a PBS show. It was a learning show.
Do you want me to just do a quick Google, or do you want to see?
Nope. I want to see who names it in the comments. I guarantee it's one of 2 people: Justin Summers or Stay Puffed. One of the 2. If anyone beats them to it, and don't be Googling. You should know this.
Dylan doesn't, but you should.
But like
what about the Papa Shango storyline?
So only because of the jacket, like the dripping of the I call it the black tar on the jacket was so iconic. That again frightened me because it's scary things. You know what? One of the biggest things is the Rick Rude cage match, because that was the first cage match I ever saw, and I was like, "This is really cool." There's a cage around a ring, and it's really high. Like that was awesome.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy to think of like how wrestling storylines were then compared to what they are now.
Man. Like, wow. But it and then when he cut his hair, my real brother, like my birth brother, like everyone was told, was like, it's a different Ultimate Warrior, just so you know. And he tried to break my heart with this, and I believed it, because then he came back, and I was like, that's a third Ultimate Warrior now. So now we're 3 Ultimate Warriors in my mind as a teenager. But I just there was a show at Culf Sports Center in Oshkosh, the little college arena here, and Warrior. This is where my memory goes. Warrior was on the card or he wasn't. I cannot remember for the life of me. But my brother said he ran into him at the gas station, and I was so mad at my dad for not like letting me meet the Ultimate Warrior at the gas station down the street. It was at Lang Oil that my dad worked at. But then my brother said he saw him there, and I was heartbroken. I don't think he did, though. But then I also took that and ran with it. When I went to a house show in 1995, I bought Bret Hart glasses, and I brought them to school the next day. And I told all my friends that those were really Bret Hart's glasses. And then one of my other friends called me out and said, no, because there's not a signature on them. And it made me look like a real jackass in front of the school.
You tried. The effort was there.
I tried.
What does the Ultimate Warrior theme song do to you?
Nothing.
It doesn't get you like. I feel like everyone's just like that is like that between his entrance and the theme, it just makes people want to run.
Oh, first off, I ain't fucking running.
But you know what I mean? Like it gets people amped up where they're just like, this is a good cardio song.
So you know what? I fell asleep so many times to the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD, like playing in the background. It would just the DVD menu. As we know with all DVD menus, guys, DVDs were a thing. It was a disc.
Oh, come on.
And they had menus that the Ultimate Warrior one and the OC, the show, the OC, California, here we come, right back where we start. You know the song, California. I do. That's it.
Just letting you go, man.
But those 2 songs, like, I can't listen to anymore because they were on all night and just on repeat.
Do you know who sings the OC theme song?
I would have said one of 2 people. I would have said Dashboard or Ryan Cabrera, but I know it's not Ryan Cabrera.
It's neither one.
Neither of them.
The name of the band is Phantom Planet.
Oh no, I would have never known that. Dylan Postl, big OC fan.
I'm not even going to pretend. Who's your person on the show?
Kid. I liked the blonde-haired kid more than the little nerdy guy, Seth.
Okay,
I hated that kid, little nerd.
It was Ryan, right?
Ryan. Yep.
I know things about things.
So we go forward, obviously, and then he leaves for a bit, and then he comes back, and he comes back as Weird Warrior. I'm just gonna call it Weird Warrior. Like,
it's Rocket Fuel Warrior.
Yeah, but it's like the comic book, and he's beating Triple H at WrestleMania 12 in like 12 seconds or whatever. And then he's
standing up after the pedigree.
Yeah, nuts. And then he's coming out with the thing with Jerry Lawler and the painting, and he wears a hat. What? My Ultimate Warrior doesn't wear a baseball cap. And if he did, he'd wear a backwards baseball cap. He would not wear a frontwards baseball cap, ever. Ultimate Warrior, you never would catch him in a frontwards baseball cap. That was like, so this is a weird thing. How I thought about the Ultimate Warrior then. I was like, now Ultimate Warrior's old because he's wearing a frontwards baseball cap. That is what I put to, like, that's how I thought of him as old.
Do you still feel this way about frontwards facing hats?
I can't wear frontwards facing hats because of my nose. I always try to line up the middle with my nose, and my eyebrow is weird on this side because I got cut out.
You know what?
I
I have
can't-
questions, but we're gonna move
I
on.
can't
We're
wear
gonna
a frontwards baseball
continue.
hat. I also feel like certain humans are frontwards hat guys, and certain humans are backwards hat guys. I am never a frontwards hat guy except in the car now because it pushes my face forward. In the car, I'm a frontwards hat guy. Ultimate Warrior should have been wearing a backwards hat. If he wanted to be youthful, the youthful wear the backwards hat.
It's a good transition. 10 out of 10 transition.
He should have worn it backwards. And then the stupid comic book. I had to buy it. I need one. Guys, if you got an in-package Warrior comic book, number one, send it to Little Dill. I'll exchange it for a nice prize package. Oh, I do remember thinking, like, even as a kid, when he lost to Sergeant Slaughter, I was like, man, this really sucks. Like, he shouldn't be losing to Sergeant Slaughter. I like Sergeant Slaughter. I hated him as a kid, as I should have. But it felt like, okay, we know. I even knew as a kid, I was like, oh, it's going back to Hogan. Here we go. I hated Hulk Hogan. Hated Hulk Hogan as a kid. Like, oh, it made me so mad. Whenever Hulk Hogan was the number one guy, not the Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior had sick merch, had so much merch. He had awesome music. Didn't talk about being a real American. It just went da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he had something that, like, a look. That's what did Hulk Hogan have? He ripped his shirt. Sweet. I can rip my shirt.
I don't know. There's video footage of you not being able to rip your shirt.
That happens on Whatnot. 1025.
So a couple of weeks ago, you did your sound of a race car.
Let's talk about that.
Wait, Johnny Clash clipped it and sent it to me.
Who did?
And I feel Johnny Clash. And I feel like now he may mix your into Ultimate Warrior thing. Oh, I knew exactly what you were doing, but I have a feeling he may mix that now into a version of the Ultimate Warriors theme song.
Why do I always sweat so much when recording this? It's always so warm.
And we're not even talking about like you. Like it's not even like a Dylan. Let's talk about when you got that wellness policy violation. Like
let's talk about that drug failure.
We're just talking about you liking the Ultimate Warrior. Like it's not even like a super serious topic.
Oh God. Oh.
So we could go through every single one of Warriors matches and talk about what it meant to you and your opinion on that, which, if you want to do that, we absolutely could. But, I wanted to touch on the big moments that stuck out to you. And then I wanted to also talk about when he goes over to WCW in 98. Did you happen to change the channel?
You know the answer to that.
You were a member of One Warrior Nation?
No. I heard about it, and I remember like seeing the thing where he appeared like in the ring or whatever. I didn't guys, you've been listening to this podcast for a year now, and you know that I never watched WCW. I never watched WCW, especially unless it was the first hour and I wasn't grounded. Hey, can we talk about something? Can we put this on a potential, guys? We're not editing this out. potential future episode, Dylan gets grounded.
Speed bump after
Dylan gets grounded. And let's just talk about, because it got brought up, and I feel like there's some funny bits about me not doing well in school. Like maybe a Patreon exclusive episode.
Sure. Dylan gets grounded.
So, but I was talking about, like, I really, like, I remember him going over there, or hearing about him going over there, and even then going like, ugh. Like, just, even Warrior, who was, I mean, my guy for my whole life, it was like a sour taste. And I was like, this doesn't need to happen. We know. And then when I found out he lost to Hogan, I was like, of course Hogan needs to beat him now. He beat him at WrestleMania 6. Hogan can't not beat Warrior when he's got creative control. Of course he has to beat him. It made me so mad. It's like, ugh.
How do you feel about it today? You still...
It's a real jerk in my craw. Is that the saying?
I don't think it's that.
What's the
But I don't even know what you're trying to say.
The craw. What's the saying with a craw?
What is a craw?
No, that's a crawfish, but it's a real jerk in my craw. It's a real craw. Something about a craw. It's a real jerk in my craw. That sounds right. I don't think that's right, though.
Got nothing.
Did you just Google sayings with craw? No, it pissed me off.
Could have just said that.
Could have just said that.
All right, so Dylan Postl, not a big fan of Ultimate Warrior's WCW run, but fast forwarding a little bit, you get to meet him. And I feel like this is going to be a large talking point of the podcast because of what he...
It was a stick in my craw.
So what was it like when you met the Ultimate Warrior?
Oh, man.
Many years later, I figured that this would be a larger talking point because of what he meant to you as a child and his influence on you getting into the business. So I wanted to get to this sooner into the podcast, but we'll leave sooner in quotations.
Sooner is a relative statement.
It's a 6-hour podcast today, ladies and gentlemen.
I did text you today. I feel like this could be a quick one, buddy. My heart. So in reality, it was announced he was going in the Hall of Fame. The minute that was like announced, I texted Weimer. I remember texting Weimer and Binder or something. Like, Weimer is definitely in the thread and being like, I mean, that's it. I'm meeting him. I have to meet him. And I was like, this is it. It's finally happening. Like, the only guy I ever had to meet was Ultimate Warrior in my life. I worked with Hogan on that Raw. I did stuff with Austin on that Raw. This was it. And then it's getting closer, and I'm like, hey, Mark, because every time, like, leading up to WrestleMania, they ask, all right, are you going to have a guest at Hall of Fame? That kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, Weimer. Weimer's going to go with me to Hall of Fame. And Mark Carano, a week before the Hall of Fame, goes, hey, bad news, buddy. And I go, don't you dare. And he goes, you're needed at Access. I said, and I looked him right in the eye. I said, you're out of your fucking mind. And he goes, what? I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing Access. I said, you know that this is the only person I want to meet ever. I never do like pull this or ever back out of stuff. I said, literally remember saying, have Summer Rae do 2 sessions. I'm not doing it. And because that's the point. They needed someone to be there. They just needed a body there at that point. Who's going to access during Hall of Fame? Like, that's no one. No one's doing that. And I'm not. Like, I definitely. So it was like, and then later in the week, they're like, hey, we're doing something different with Hall of Fame this year. We're having like skits during the Hall of Fame. And I was like, what? They go, yeah, Bad News Barrett's going to do one where he's going to deliver bad news. And then you and Torito are going to do one where you come out on the stage, you're running out on the stage, and you end up headbutting Jerry Lawler in the dick. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is so weird. Yeah, but that's what we're doing. I was like, but am I there? They go, yeah. I go, I'll headbutt Jerry Lawler in the dick. You know, like, sweet. But, and I was like, I can sit for Warrior's speech, correct? And they're like, yeah, of course. Awesome. So we do like this. I remember at that Hall of Fame, we do the thing, like the Torito and I skit on the stage. And it was like very reactions from the people because that's not something you do at Hall of Fame. I mean, do that at the Slammies, do it at that thing. That's not something you do at the Hall of Fame. And it was very, very not taken well by the people in attendance. And I got to see Warrior's speech. Sat next to Weimer during that. It was awesome, man. I think I said that. Yeah. For sure he was there with me. 100%. But then it's WrestleMania. And I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to meet him. I truly don't know. WrestleMania, I did not get to meet him. And I was like, okay. And then I overheard he was going to be at Raw. And I was like, okay, this is my last chance. This is going to be my last chance. And for some reason, I knew that. Even though he signed a new deal and there was words that he was going to like do appearances and do like a Legends deal kind of thing, I was like, this is going to be my shot. I know it. And I was like waiting and waiting and waiting all day. All right, well, I'm not going to bug him during the day. I'm going to wait for him after the show and introduce myself. I said, I have to meet him. I have to. And in my mind, I was like, I knew from the start, I was like, I need to tell him he's the reason I'm here. And he's the reason I'm doing this. And even liked wrestling in the first place. And he does his promo, he finishes it, and I'm waiting backstage. And he comes through the curtain. I remember he came through the curtain, and it was like one of those 90s teenage rom-coms where everything like stopped and we locked eyes. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. And
went full slow motion.
Yeah, it legitimately felt like it was 20 minutes waiting for him to walk.
It was like the staircase when they're coming down the staircase and everything goes slow motion.
For prom. Warrior. I was taking Warrior to prom.
God, I want that shirt now.
But I remember literally just like extending my hand and introducing myself, and the first things out of my mouth were, "Hey, I remember my name's Dylan, and you are the reason I'm here today." And he goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah, like you are the reason I'm doing this. You are my absolute hero to this day. You're the only wrestler I ever cared about to this day. You're the reason I'm doing what I'm doing." And he goes, "Hold on a second." And he brings his wife over. He goes, "Dana, come here. Okay." And he goes, he pointed to me, he goes, "He says that I'm the reason he's here today." She goes, "What?" And I said, "He is my hero. He's the only hero the only like superhero figure I ever had. He's the reason I'm here. And then I liked wrestling and all that." And he said, he goes, "You have no idea what this means to me." He goes, "That really, really means a lot, especially this weekend. That means so much." He goes, "Let's take a picture." And I was like, hell yes, let's take a picture. And so I gave Dana my phone and we took a picture. And it was like, I remember leaving like that. And he before I left that, like the conversation, he goes, "Thank you. Thank you again for saying what you did." And I was like, this is the greatest. And I remember just like sitting like backstage, just like, this is the coolest thing ever. I texted my dad the photo, and I said, it happened. And I texted Weimer the photo, and I said, it happened. My dad sends back, he goes, man, that's really cool. He goes, that was your guy growing up your whole life. And man, it was just, and then everything happened, obviously. And so I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where I didn't do it on WrestleMania, but I had to at Raw, and it's just shit happens. Shit happens for a reason, and it just does. It does. It was just cool to be able to tell him what he meant to me. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Like that. It was literally just the coolest. The coolest. Right place, right time. I guess obviously that you could say. And man, it really was. It truly was the right place, right time.
It's awesome. It's a great story regardless to, meet someone the day after they were inducted into the Hall of Fame, but then to
After all the years of bullshit, like all the years of bullshit.
Yeah, especially when you take into consideration the history of the Ultimate Warrior.
How that relationship was.
But to have it be someone that was so influential and important to you personally, to have that meeting at that time, like that is like, you want to talk about the stars, the planets, everything aligning perfectly in one great single moment. Like that's it. Man, I mean, it cannot get any more perfect than that.
Woo! That's one of those weird chill moments that I don't think about very much, but it's a really, really cool thing.
Is that photo in your office somewhere?
Yeah, it's in my Nope. What the fuck?
Is it downstairs maybe? With in the Warrior detolf?
It's in my Warrior tote. It's going in the office.
So
it's going in the office next week.
This is a good transition because obviously we've talked about it once or twice in the history of the podcast. You have a extensive Ultimate Warrior collection that is beyond just the figures. You have like the prop masks and stuff like that and everything.
Friend of the show, David C. Anderson, just gifted me a huge piece. I literally just toted it up. So I have the mask. In the 1990 or 1991, they put out. Joe Shoes just talked about it on the Captain's Log with Liz Myers. The best episode ever, guys. Listen to it. Captain's Log with Liz Myers. It was so fun. In the early 90s, there were so many plastic mask and bodysuit costumes. Everything. And he dropped the name. I forget what the name was, but everything had a thin plastic mask with a shitty string and a bodysuit. I have the mask for the Warrior one. I remember I was that costume at least 3-4 years of my life. Every Halloween. A, because it was Warrior, and B, because I finally found a costume that fit me at that age and size. But it was like, this is great. But then I would wrestle in it, and so I eventually cracked the mask. So I have a new mask. I've found one. But David C. was up in Oshkosh this last weekend, and he gave me the full in-package mask and bodysuit that he found.
Wow.
I flipped. I said, I have the mask. I just need, I don't have the bodysuit. And it's in the packaging, everything. So it was like another thing, like weird goosebump moments, because that was what I was, and that was my growing up. But yeah, so I think this was a Hawkins thing, shocking. But he goes, hey, you need to start a Warrior collection. And it was off to the races. As soon as he said that, probably during pandemic, when everyone was bored.
He gave you the green light, and that was it.
Yeah. And I just started spending. And I have every figure that he's had. I never held an LJN until I held his. And I was like, this is a really crappy figure. LJNs, I don't like LJNs, guys. It was before my time. I just don't get it. But I got that was cool. I have the Ultimate Warrior Frisbee. I love random Ultimate Warrior stuff, guys. I love it. Random merch that is out there. I love just finding and like, oh, this is great. When I do signings at these toy shops and I come across random stuff, I literally instantly grab it. I mean, everyone gets the figures and that kind of thing, but I like the random. I like the random pieces, and there's a few that I'm still missing. That I'm on the hunt for.
I'm assuming that you don't have like the crazy rare figures,
Brian
like the
it.
1 of 5s.
Brian has one of the granite ones, and I don't know if he has the USA, but like, I'm not. I have a kid. I can't. I love my collection, but I'm not gonna go nuts and bankrupt myself for a figure, because that also it's not special to me, if that makes sense. Like, getting a Hasbro on card is special to me. In the group, here's a crazy one. Probably my favorite piece that I don't even know if it's in a case now that I think about it. It might just be in a tote, and I have to look at this.
Oh boy.
There is a signed Series 2 Hasbro on card, autographed by the Ultimate Warrior. Like I say, I get the figures as they come out, obviously. And I can't wait to start putting that cabinet together. That's literally the next project. I can't wait. And it's going to be like fun. I can't wait to put like retro stuff on one shelf. And this, I think I'm going to need another bigger cabinet, not just a Detolf, because of how expansive it is. I don't think it's going to all fit.
Yeah, there's a lot of Warrior stuff. I think it's if Clash can fill an entire Detolf of Sting,
there's way more Warrior.
You're going to need way more for Warrior. He has an entire Detolf for Sting, and then I think there's stuff like even on top. Like
I got an in box like at Mint Wrestling Buddy. Like that itself was like so cool to me because I remember having it. That was my one as a kid. I still have it.
That's what I had.
I still have it at my dad's
as a kid too.
There's a hole in the thumb. I have it at Dad's house. Man, that's gonna be cool. I can't wait, guys. I can't wait for that YouTube video. Really, truly.
That's gonna be a really cool time. One. So it's in the notes, but just to get it, and I know you just talked about it, but just to get it officially, your favorite Warrior collectible is?
Figure wise, it would be Series 2 Warrior.
Oh, it's not the signed one.
Oh, the favorite piece of my collection? Easily the signed one.
Oh, yeah. And then, so I immediately assumed that you were going to say, yeah, the signed one is my favorite. But yeah, favorite gear-wise, I guess. We'll talk about
favorite toy or merch piece of the Ultimate Warrior would be Hasbro Series 2 in the white neon.
Okay.
Very close runner-up is the Mattel of his Final Night. That one is very, very close too. I have that loose behind my bar, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I have it just behind my bar on a shelf. Kind of a cool thing. The Wrestling Buddy is definitely number 3.
Oh yeah, the Wrestling Buddy is iconic.
Yeah.
I had asked questions for questions from the Discord, but you pretty much already answered them. It was about hitting critical mass with the amount of figures that have come out. That was from Slowpoke33, which you got a lot.
There are a ton out there. There are an absolute ton out there. And even being a fanatic, I feel like we're just at that point where I love WrestleMania 6. I love WrestleMania 6. That was the one that got me into wrestling. But I don't need any more WrestleMania 6 Ultimate Warriors. I don't. I truly, truly don't. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I have every possible WrestleMania 6 Ultimate Warrior. Like, there's nothing, they can't go any better at this point.
Yeah, it's very true. The second question was, were there any left that you wanted to still get made for your collection?
Yep, I would like the One Warrior Nation, one that they hinted at and tried to get crowdfunded.
Okay.
With the Nitro stage. And also I talked to Steve from Mattel. I messaged him. I said, we need Comeback Warrior with the baseball hat and the comic, the art piece.
You just really are in on Baseball Hat Warrior.
Yeah, it's a big moment that people talk about to this day. Obviously, I would never put the baseball cap backwards because he was a little older in his life. But I really feel that that's a moment people talk about, and it's very canon, but people talk about it, and so I would love it to be made.
I'm trying to think. Is there a way that you could get?
I think
frontwards baseball hat Warrior and then use it as a backwards baseball hat on a Swoggle figure.
Oh fuck! I would put it. There's my in my bar. There's a me figure with a major pod T or something, and it has a backwards hat because I only wear backwards hats because I'm very youthful.
And they're all center faced.
Well, I can't put them forward because I have a fucked up face.
I don't want to keep going on, but just wear the hat. Just wear the hat forward. Oh man. All right, Slowpoke, thank you very much for those questions. And Justin Summers also asked 2 questions, but you kind of already covered them. What was your top 3 favorite Ultimate Warrior figures? And did you read the Ultimate Warrior comic book? He said he was trying to find someone else who has. So there's a whole conversation starter for you and Justin Summers where you could talk about the Ultimate Warrior comic book.
Yeah, man.
All right, now I'm going to leave this up to you. I got one queued up. Do you want to do a hot take this week?
Let's hot take next week.
All right. Well, then we're going to do a double.
Especially because I feel like the topic next week, I mean, we say this every week, but I feel like the topic next week will be a bit shorter.
Well, let's do something that we don't normally do here. So here's what we're going to do. I want to reveal to you the hot take for next episode so that you have some time to fester with it and let it boil over for 2 weeks. And then we'll also tell...
You're giving me time to build my argument on why something doesn't make sense?
Yeah, why not? It's a good topic. So next episode, it will be releasing a little bit closer to Halloween. So we thought that this would be a good time to talk about Leprechaun Origins. So after this episode, the next episode will be about Leprechaun Origins. But the hot take for that episode will be Dylan's opinion on the most overrated Halloween traditions and his least favorite Halloween candies. Oh, and I want to hear why you love candy corn so much.
Nope. Already felt my hand go in a fist because it makes me mad.
I knew candy corn was going to be the thing that set you over. With that, now that I got you nice and annoyed, plug your stuff, Dylan.
DylanPostl.com, the absolute hub for all things me. At Dylan Post on all forms of social media. That's the big things. Twitch.tv/Dylan Postl. I'm returning. I may be returning at time of this, like after we record said podcast. I haven't decided. I think it's going to happen. But
wow.
Twitch.tv/Dylan Postl. ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle. We talked about Taylor Swift earlier. The brand new Swoggle Eras Tour t-shirt is on there. One of my favorite t-shirts in recent memory. Probably my favorite t-shirt of recent memory. And then Whatnot. Like I said, we plugged it earlier, but the big Whatnot stream at the end of the month, my 20 years in wrestling Whatnot stream is happening on the 25th. Gonna have some fun. George?
Hell yes.
What do you got?
So in addition to this podcast, I host another podcast. It is called the Game Marks Podcast. It is myself and former Create a Pro champion, Johnny Clash. But on this podcast, Dylan likes to call him
Carouse.
And each week, we break down a different wrestling video game covering the good, the bad, and the awesome. All things wrestling video games. And yeah, we would love for you to come and check us out. We are available on all major podcast platforms. You can find us on all forms of social media at Game Marks Pod. But Dylan, that's it, man. Talked about the Ultimate Warrior. You got your plugs in. The only thing that people want to do now is hear you do that wonderful signature sign off whenever you're ready, sir. The floor is yours.